Michigan Wolverines and the Wisconsin Badgers from Madison. Doesn't get any better than this. Good afternoon, welcome everybody. I'm Brent Musburger. So many subplots today. How will Wisconsin coach Barry Alvarez is not on the sidelines. And for more, let's go to our reporter, Leslie Goodell.
Brent, Barry Alvarez had his knee cleaned out over the summer, and he hoped to wait until after the season to have knee replacement surgery. But he saw doctors last week, and they said it couldn't wait. On October 5th, he'll undergo surgery. So in the meantime, he has to keep his leg up, which means not being on the sideline, but instead coaching today from the booth high above Camp Randall Stadium. Coach, how is this going to change the game today?
Well, it's not going to change the game, Leslie. This game's about players, Michigan players and Wisconsin players, and them making plays. It's not about me being on the sidelines. We've got good line of communication with our staff, and hopefully everything will go smooth.
All right, Coach, thank you. And we, of course, will be checking in at halftime. And if they win, we will try to get a jubilant Barry before he heads off for the elevator.
Well, Barry's right about one thing, Brent. He's got a lot of coaches that he's coached with a long time, so a lot of experience there on his staff.
Wisconsin won the toss. They did not defer. They said, give us the football. Let's go to work. Hayden Epstein to kick it off for the Wolverines. Not good effort. Out of bounds. So the strategy to go on the attack right away pays an early dividend as far as the Wisconsin Badgers are concerned. And their senior quarterback.
Illegal procedure on the kickers. Free kick went out of bounds. Ball be put on the 35-yard line.
So Ron Dayne coming out, Gary, and again the story, 16 carries, only 53 yards a year ago in Ann Arbor, but a different Saturday. 1st and 10 from the 35. Scott Kavanaugh from Naperville, Illinois, under center. And Dayne is set behind Chad Coombs, number 41. Penalty flag on the first play.
Back-to-back plays. Michigan anxious. 2 penalties, 2 plays.
The matchup, Gary.
The matchup, all right, let me see here. I saw you and Dan do this. You know what? Neither one of the offenses are doing anything, so I'm not going to give a check to either one of them. The Michigan defense has been riding this team. I'm going to do their partner. You take over. Who do you like at
special teams? Wisconsin. Michigan kicks the ball out of bounds.
You like that? You changed on me. Intangible.
Intangible. Give me Michigan on the intangible.
You like
okay?
That. So, okay, 2-1. You like Michigan.
Thought I'd throw you a little curveball there to start, my friend. On your toes. After the penalty, it's 1st down and 5. And here comes Dayne again, going nowhere. Tripped up in that backfield by Ian Gold, number 20, the small but active linebacker. And here is their outstanding left tackle at Wisconsin, Chris McIntosh, no longer in the shadow of Aaron Gibson. And look at what he benches. Nick Davis, fine punt and kick return man. And Dayne, he's the focus in today's game. So Chris McIntosh, number 75, Gary.
Well, you're right, and it was a big shadow with Gibson, and I think Wisconsin's still trying to get organized without Gibson there, not running the ball like a year ago.
First pass of the game, and it is complete, but short of the 1st down. So Chris Chambers is short of the 1st down, and we'll check back in on the Chili's starting defensive line, and Rob Renas, a very active and intelligent nose man. And here is Dahani Jones. He leads the team and tackles with 22. And folks, the big hitter to watch today, the safety Tommy Hendricks. He'll come up frequently as this game unfolds.
If you want to watch Big Ten football, Tommy Hendricks is the guy you got to keep an eye on all day. There's the defensive coordinator, Jimmy Herman from Michigan.
They need 3 yards on this 3rd down. Kavanaugh hit on the blitz, deflected, incomplete. Rolling in was corner Todd Howard off the corner blitz. Coming hard in Kavanaugh.
That's what Kavanaugh has to do in this game. Scott Kavanaugh had him wide open. Michigan blitzed, but he had plenty of time to make Michigan pay for it. Had his receiver Chambers wide open, and it was a move to change type throw. They don't want to give the ball back to Michigan with those possessions like that where they could have had an easy 1st down.
Kevin Stemke, a fine punter. And Marcus Knight awaits the first offensive touch. They only had 10 on the field. They rush the 11th man out. Michigan does. Fair catch is the signal at the 9-yard line. And so the senior quarterback Tom Brady brings the Wolverines out. That's his accomplishments a year ago when he led Michigan to that win in Ann Arbor. So we'll see what the Wolverines elect to do here on first down. The Badger coaches, including Alvarez upstairs, of course, watching to see what kind of personnel they're going to open up with. They huddle over on the sidelines. They come right out. Berry looking down below, and Terrell goes head up with number 2, Jamar Fletcher. Off to the top of your screen, a matchup to watch. And here comes Anthony Thomas.
Anthony Thomas, the ball carrier.
Now our Chili's Michigan offensive lineup featuring another outstanding lineman, left guard Steve Hutchinson from Coral Springs, Florida. And David Terrell did play some in that defensive backfield at Syracuse, so he played both ways a little bit last week. He certainly is the go-to receiver. And of course, the man known as the A-Train, Anthony Thomas, and a good receiver. Coming again, no hold. Badgers jam it up good. And coming in is Donnell Thompson at the end, along with Jason Doring. And defensively for the Badgers, John Favre. Now, what a job he faces this year. He must replace Tom Burke. 22 sacks a year ago. Guttori, he missed the game a year ago because of an injury. And he is out there this year. So Guttori will see a lot of action with. We've talked about Jamar Fletcher, 8 interceptions in 13 games. And now facing a 3rd and 8. Brady in the shotgun, steps up, nobody's open, and Brady will be short of the first down. A penalty flag comes flying late.
I think it's going to be out of Wisconsin, too.
Flag on the play.
Would be costly, Gary, if it winds up keeping this drive alive.
Yeah, you're going to see it. Michigan runs one of their basic plays. They're going to cross their receivers right here. Wisconsin's ready for it. You can tell by the protection right here. Decent protection for Brady. No one's open. Wisconsin's ready for the passing game for Brady. And when you let Tom Brady beat you with your feet, that's not a good sign. Really not sure what the call was. Oh, that's really a bad call. That's a guy who got blocked into the pile. That's a tough one for Wisconsin.
You may have noticed, folks, number 77 in red coming hard at the end. That is Wendell Bryant. And he is one of the ringleaders of this Wisconsin defense. He is an outstanding defensive end. Now first down and 10 for the Wolverines. Thomas, nothing doing in the middle. So let us go to John Saunders. John, we are very interested here in that Purdue Northwestern game, my friend. What's going on?
Brent, why am I not surprised by that? You are watching a guy by the name of Drew Brees, who's been terrific here in the Win Your Way Burger King update. Brees from his own end zone chucks this one. Could it be thrown any better? Hits his man Vinny Sutherland on the stride for the touchdown. Brees has 3 touchdown passes in the game. Purdue on top, 31-23. Brent.
All right, John, I have a comment on that in a moment. 2nd down and 10. Brady snaps one off Terrell's first reception of the game. And it's good for about 5 yards. The point I want to make is, John, we will be all right at Northwestern when Gary Danielson's son finally takes over as quarterback, ladies and gentlemen. He's been hiding that from you. How about our Dell game solution?
Let's stick with the Dell first. This is what Michigan has to do. They have to dominate the clock, make first downs. They have not done that this year. And when you play 2 quarterbacks, you got to make sure you pick the right one in the second half. Wisconsin, so far, they've handled the counter. That'll be a thing. And when they throw the ball, they need some sacks. Last year, they led the league in sacks. They haven't had it yet so far.
The offensive line's doing an excellent job if he can find receivers. Brady's got one. First down, Marquise Walker into Wisconsin territory. But I think, Gary, the point to be made here in the early going is that Michigan offensive line is really keeping the front clean. Brady had way too much time as far as Wisconsin and its fans are concerned.
Well, it's twofold, Brent. The coverage has been very good for Wisconsin. They got a good handle on what Michigan's trying to do throwing the ball. Receivers are covered, but that pass rush, missing Tom Burke. We pointed it out when we introduced the lineups. They have not been able to pressure Burke, and I thought that was going to be an underlying thing in the game. If they don't pressure Burke, he'll eat you up.
That's a 21-yard gain for a first down for the Wolverines. Play fake Brady. Look at the time. Stands all alone in the pocket and nails another first down inside the 30-yard line to Terrell. And we ask head coach Lloyd Carr, how do you beat Wisconsin?
We have to be able to be more efficient, particularly on third down offensively. But if you allow them to maintain possession of the football, either by not stopping the running game or if you continually give them the football, eventually they will wear your defense down.
Well, Lloyd got one big first down already, another 13 yards here on first down. They're inside the Badger 30-yard line. A play fake again. Going to throw the screen back to Shea. Badgers read it, but the former tight end still pulls his way to the 26-yard line with Dorsey bringing him down.
Michigan is looking for someone else to emerge in this offense. You know, a lot of pressure on the tailback. Most of their yardage is coming from the tailback. They need Shea. Of course, Terrell's going to do his job catching the ball, but they need one more option to take the pressure off the tailback position. Shea did it against Syracuse with that screen pass. Let's see if they keep going back to him. Boy, Brady is hot starting this football game.
So's this offensive line, folks. Backus and Hutchinson on that left side. Walker's the motion receiver. Brady goes sideline. Incomplete. The signal down in the end zone. Beautiful defense. Jason Doreen, the free safety, makes a fine play in the end zone.
Last week, Anthony Thomas caught 8 passes against Syracuse. You know the Badgers were ready for this. It was a perfect throw and great coverage by Eccles that time. You know, you watch the films, there's probably not 2 teams in the Big Ten that more run the plays that you expect to run than Wisconsin and Michigan. They say, here we come, stop us.
Going to be interesting here on 3rd and 7. Last year they had gone to Jeremy Tooman. He's not around. Brady will go far side. Terrell's got the first down. He caught it at about the 20-yard line and then picked up an extra 2 yards down the sideline with Jamar Fletcher, the cover man. A duel we're going to be watching all day long. Terrell won that round.
You know, David Terrell has a bit of a mismatch in his height. He's probably a little bit faster than Fletcher also. But Fletcher has to know what Michigan is trying to accomplish. 3rd and 7, they love to run the smash route. That's all it was right there. If you study your game plan, you knew it was going to come to Terrell outside right there.
3 catches for 29 yards for Terrell already on the Michigan's first drive of the game. Thomas bottled up. Stutter stepped his way for a yard or 2, and Danny Lazowski in on the tackle.
Danny Lazowski's been injured a bit. He's just coming back into this lineup. And we mentioned last year how effective Michigan was running the counter against this defense. Couple of reasons for that. Dorsey didn't play. And then his backup, Roger Knight, got hurt. So they had to play a true freshman in that football game. Michigan saw it and took advantage of it.
2nd down and 9 for the Wolverines. Brady.
Same play.
Well, again on the other side to the 8-yard line.
That has to be maddening for Kevin Cosgrove, the defensive coordinator. He knows what's coming. They're going to run the smash route out to the outside to Terrell. You're tilting your defense 2 steps out, just fade to the outside, easy coverage. Come on, Fletch, get up there. You're depending on it. Team's depending on it. You also got to get the safety to slide out there a little bit also.
They're down to 3. Michigan can pick up a first down without scoring. Brady to throw for it. All day. Receivers covered. Now he goes. Got it. Shea. Touchdown. Michigan. Way too much time. And there is a penalty flag back at the line of scrimmage.
I really think it was probably roughing the passer after he let the ball go. So you're right. When you have time, Brent, to say way too much time, and then he throws it, that's too much time.
That's exactly right. And a disgusted Alvarez upstairs.
Look at it. 1001. This is real time. 1003, 1004, 1005. Nice job by Shea, sensing that his quarterback was in trouble and kind of going against the grain for the touchdown. And you give your defense down on the goal line 6 seconds to try to cover someone, that's a touchdown.
an impressive Michigan drive, and they did it in the air.
That's surprising me a little bit. You know, I thought they would come out and try to prove they can run the ball. Wisconsin is geared to stop the run, so we say, hey, we're going to throw it.
Jeff Delverne makes it a 7-0 lead. Wolverines. You're a road team, and you can punch the ball 90 yards on your first drive. You have deflated the crowd. You've put yourself in a commanding position, which is exactly what Michigan has done here. And Epstein drills this kickoff out of the end zone, and it's coming out to the 20. ABC Sports presentation of college football brought to you by Dodge. Do not follow, do not conform, be different. Morgan Stanley, Dean Witter. We measure success one investor at a time. EA Sports and NASCAR 2000. If it's in the game, it's in the game. And Burger King. When you have it your way, it just tastes better.
If you're the Badgers now, Brent, you can't change your game plan. You come in here running the ball, you're trying to make first downs, you're hoping that Scott Cavanaugh can find his third down passing touch, but you got to get the ball to number 33.
He's lined up, Gary, right behind Coons. Here he comes. Big hole. And he was patient this time, charging for 8 yards before Dayne Jones makes the stop.
All right, let's take a look at the Dell game solutions for Wisconsin. Because you don't make a lot of big plays, you can't turn it over. And then you talk about the passing game. When you get that 3rd and 5-yard throw, you have to hit at least 60% of them. If you're Michigan on defense, hey, wrap him up. He's going to make some yards, but don't give him extra yards. And because Wisconsin can't get big plays, don't give him that. Make him earn the whole field.
And officially, he gets 9 yards. They come right back with him. He bounces off and picks up the first down. And you know, we asked the members of the Michigan defense, how do you stop the great Dayne?
We're going to stop Ron Dayne. We're going to have 11 guys doing their job, getting off their blocks, and then getting to him, because I think he's very capable of carrying 9 or 10 guys on his shoulders, and it's going to take that 11th guy to, I think, finally knock him down.
It's nothing unique. It's nothing, you know, special. It's just run the football.
I'm not even thinking. I'm running right through his face mask.
There's the man headed for the face mask. 18 tackles, 4 for a loss, and 1 pick. Now on a first down, Cavanaugh complete and incomplete, waved off by the linesman. It was the fullback who came out as a receiver, Chad Coons. So, Gary, this is very revealing, something you've pointed out here.
Yeah, Brent, you know, you look at how successful Ron Dayne has been, but you look at what he's done against the elite defenses in the Big Ten, and he has not had great success. Look, never a 100-yard rushing game against those 3 on the top. Did it against Penn State, but that's 549 yards against those guys versus 2,000 against the other. Can't win the Heisman Trophy unless he does it against the big guys.
Jake Freisinger checks into the Michigan line and came off the injured list. There's a penalty flag on this play, and they will go nowhere as Eddie Faulkner checked in as the Wisconsin tailback, but there were flags just prior to the snap.
You know, there's a lot of reasons why he hasn't gained a lot of yards against those teams. He's been nicked. You know, games got out of hand. They had to throw the ball. Nevertheless, you want the Heisman? Do it against the best. So third penalty for Michigan already in this game, but the lack of a pass rush, I think, has been a big story in this game for Michigan's offense.
Keep 2nd down.
Lee Evans, freshman wide receiver, checks into the game. 2nd down and 5 for Cavanaugh. Cavanaugh's brother, as a senior, quarterbacked Kansas State to a Cotton Bowl. Eddie Faulkner still in as the running back. He's the junior from Muncie, Indiana. Gets the call, and Michigan eats him up.
Eddie Faulkner, the ball carrier.
This is just one of the finest defenses in the land. If you sat and watched the tape of last week's game in Syracuse, and you've ever been in that building and heard that noise, and you watched this Michigan defense, it was something.
Well, that's because, and Rob Rena said it best, they've got 11 guys that all can run to the football. And that's what, you know, I kind of call it all hands on deck. When you face that Michigan defense, you got to beat all 11 of them, because all 11 of them got their eyes on the football and coming up to make the tackle.
Now Jim Herman's defense must look at the great Dayne. He's back here on this 3rd down and 4. Hendricks chases the motion man. Kavanaugh drops it off. Incomplete. He was going for him. And Michigan had that play read perfectly.
Pass incomplete.
That was Nick Davis, the wideout, coming through, and they sent Hendricks after him, and Hendricks got off a Dayne.
Inside pressure from Rob Reynes, too, that time. Kavanaugh had to throw it off his back foot. Didn't have time to wait. Reynes is inside right here. Watch the pressure on the quarterback. By the time he wants to throw the ball, he's got a guy right in his lap and really couldn't step into the throw.
Stemke punting again.
Reynes is a beauty, isn't he? He's a beauty.
So Marcus signals a fair catch. Right at the 20-yard line, a 40-yard punt. So we'll take a break. The Wolverines, remember, 13 plays, 90 yards with their first drive. We'll have their second next. Madison, Wisconsin. With Gary Danielson, I'm Brent Musburger. Michigan struck first here as the Big Ten opens its season. And they lead the Badgers of Wisconsin 7-0. And we have a warm Saturday afternoon. Sunshine predicted the rest of the way here.
Really have a feeling that Michigan is going to try to establish the run in this football game right now.
David Brandt operates at center. Flair in the flat. Thomas in a foot race. Still going. First down before he's finally forced to the bounds. He beat Donnell Thompson out in the flat that time.
Tom Brady says, hey, you give me the same calls Drew Henson got, I could throw too. I was a second all-time thrower last year, had great season. There's Drew Henson, played the second quarter of the Syracuse game, got to play the whole second half. Tom Brady looks like he's accepted the challenge and he's got this team marching. He just, every throw is hitting the guy in stride.
I can see why Lloyd Carr and the coaches are in a dilemma. These are both fine young men and they bring a lot to the table. I'll tell you, first down and 10. That's Shea, and here comes Thomas. Thomas steps beautifully out to the 39. Let's get an update on the Seminoles. John Saunders, how they make it out today? Second down and 3 for the...
There's the matchup up there. Fletcher and Terrell, they're going to have to play man-to-man. They're going to have to blitz, like you said, to get some pressure. So that means Fletcher's going to be on an island out there trying to stop them.
Prior to the snap, dead ball, false start, offense, 5-yard penalty, still second down.
Fifth season for Lloyd Carr in the Big Ten. Outstanding. 25-7. Won a national championship, share of it 2 years ago. Has a team that's contending again, ranked number 4 in the wire service polls and the coaches poll right now. Second down and 8. Toss play. Thomas looks for Dayne, and Wisconsin read it beautifully and brought a lot of heat. Cadorsey credited with the tackle, number 16, the young man who missed that game last week. Well, prime time football coming up here. Sunday, it's ESPN. And the New York Giants, who have to be terribly embarrassed about that miserable performance a week ago going to play New England. They were awful. San Francisco, Arizona, come on, offensive line. Protect that guy right there. You're going to get him carried off to a hospital if you don't block for Steve Young.
One more game like that, he'll end up in the booth like Boomer.
So you're right about that, my friend. Third down and 11. Here's Brady, and there's that protection. Shea out of bounds. Well defended that time. They never had a chance with that play. So now Michigan will be forced to punt, and another left footer, Corey Sargent, trots onto the field.
Well, Tom Brady did a nice job there, not trying to force something when you're on your own 30-yard line and leading 7-0. You have a great defense, play to the strength of your football team, which means punt the ball here.
Yeah, and there's a weapon for Wisconsin, folks. It's Nick Davis. He grew up not far from the campus in Ann Arbor. He'd love to make something happen right about now. Dances his way to the 35, down at the 36-yard line. Hendricks playing on the special team. You use your best players on the special teams when conference play opens. We've got a timeout. He's carried 3 times for 12 yards here, and he's back on the field right now. Gary, do you see anything they might be able to do to get him a little more daylight against this very aggressive Michigan D?
When we talked to the coordinators for Wisconsin, we said, where would you rather have a bigger game, from Ron Dayne or Scott Kavanaugh? They said Dayne. I don't agree. They need some help from the quarterback.
Here's first down for the Badgers. They'll put it right in Dayne's hands, and he stepped for 4 yards. And let's check in with Leslie down below. Leslie, what do you got?
Brent, Ron Dayne had a lot of reasons he could have left school last year, but he decided to stay, and for one very big reason. Her name is Jada, his nearly 2-year-old daughter. She comes to all the games, and he said he just couldn't have imagined being away a year without her.
All right. Cheer for Daddy out there.
Jada.
Yeah, I'd love to go to New York. Yeah, I'd like to see that trophy, that hardware. That's great.
That's a nice reason to stay, isn't it?
Indeed. 2nd down and 7. Here he comes. Pops it to the 42-yard line. That'll leave him here with a 3rd down coming up. Eric Wilson makes a stop for the Wolverines.
Inside again, the nose play. Watch Renus in here. Watch this matchup. That's Casey Roback, a great center for Wisconsin, but watch out. He's not only getting a standstill, he's pushing him back in the backfield. That's why Wisconsin's having trouble springing Ron Dayne, and why they need not only Rayback to block better, but to do that, they got to open up the offense just a bit. They don't need to be Florida. They just don't need to be what they're doing right now.
Here's 3rd down. Big play for the Badgers. Kavanaugh snaps it off. Chambers first down. A young man with a broken bone in his right hand. It missed the last 2 games. And he gives him a first down. We send you to New York for an update from John Saunders.
Brent, Bobby Bowden said
for the Heisman Trophy. Peter Warwick is by far the most exciting. Now, I didn't say best. I said he's the most exciting player that I've seen in the college game this year.
Well, Brent, I think if he'd have turned pro a year ago, he might be playing for your old friend Dick Vermeil in St. Louis, because he's a pretty attractive football player.
5-yard penalty, still first down.
Barry Alvarez checking up above. Coach, how's it going? What do you think here so far? No, he's talking to Coach. He don't want to talk to you.
That's right. We're 3rd down the line.
I'll get to your headset in a moment.
He's got Cosgrove, White, Huber. He's got all his guys. We're way down.
First down and 15. Fumble.
No turnovers. Remember what Wisconsin can't do. We talked about it in the solutions of the game. Can't give any cheapies to Michigan. They're too good. This was self-inflicted, too.
Michigan's got it.
A sloppy handoff between your quarterback and your Heisman Trophy running back. Let's see where it hits him. 1 step left, opens up the right arm. Ball looked like it was placed pretty nicely. You can see that Ron Dayne never had control of it, and oh man, hard enough to beat a team like Michigan when you're playing well because of the type of offense you run, but when you give them one like that, that could spell disaster. We talked to Kevin Cosgrove, Brent, about what Michigan likes to do following turnover. He said 50-50, run and pass. They do not go for the home run ball. Let's see.
Rob Renus recovers it for the Wolverines. Play fake Brady. Great time. Goes for the home run. Terrell battles for it. Incomplete inside the 5-yard line. You know, we have been looking at Barry Alvarez up at the coach's booth because of the knee problem. He's unable to be on the sideline. I told Gary I wanted to check an intangible for Michigan, and this is the reason why. Known Barry Alvarez for a long time, and he's one of the most emotional leaders that I've seen on a sideline.
Right.
Nobody can get in a player's faces any better than Barry Alvarez, and in my opinion, they miss that down on the field. They miss someone to start driving this team.
Well, Brent, you know, more than that even, I think, he exudes confidence, and he exudes confidence at a place like Wisconsin. Like, I don't care who we're playing, we can stand up there. He's a great alley fighter.
And around, double reverse. Terrell's got it. Terrell swings 40. 30 on a cutback. Terrell, end zone, touchdown, Michigan. The double reverse. Folks, when Gary shows you the replay after the extra point, I want you to watch the young man known as the A-Train. I want you to watch 32 show you why he's a complete football player. Delverne. White down the heart.
How many double reverses do you see in college football, or even high school football for that matter, anymore? You get a big turnover, and Michigan says, we're going to go for the heart twice. Here's Terrell right here. He's going to have to wait a long time to get this double reverse because it's handed off. Little pitch. He starts. A-Trade hands it off. One side, then gets a half a block there. Stays in the play. And watch him. He's right here. Stays in the play all the way. And Terrell, A-Trade says, follow me. Anthony Thompson says, follow me, big guy. All the way to the end zone. And that's about as easy as you can put 6 points on the board.
And that is as good a job of downfield blocking as I've seen in a long time, Gary.
You know, that is a play that completely fooled the Wisconsin defense. I mean, he barely had to have a knockout block. And when your ball carrier can hand off the ball and get 2 key blocks on the play, you know you're fooled.
Epstein to kick off for Michigan. Deep for the Badgers, Michael Bennett. Nick Davis.
Davis and Michael Bennett back deep. Coming out on the 20-yard line. Little program reminder here that tomorrow at 9, 8 Central from the creators of the... I know I'm not. Oh, listen. First down and 10 now.
I hope it's good. No, I don't know if I'll be allowed to watch it.
Well, Wisconsin coming off that embarrassing defeat. The hands of Cincinnati needs to get something going. Down a couple of scores. Dayne tried to power it, and Michigan brought a lot of blue and maize.
That was Tommy Hendricks right there on that first hit, too. Hendricks just got up, shook his head. All right, I'll take it. I'll take a mouthful to stop you.
You know, these two teams come at this game from a different approach to the pre-Big Ten campaign.
That is true, and that's one of the things that Wisconsin has had to live with is a little bit of that, you know, we talked about it in the open. Are they frauds or are they for real? I think they're for real for what they are. I mean, they're not Michigan. They're at a whole different level.
Here's Hendricks blitz. Scott Kavanaugh on the release, incomplete.
Pulled the string on that one.
So Hendricks comes on a safety blitz around the left side of the defense and was in on Kavanaugh on the release, and he may have shaken him up just a little bit.
You know, it was the zone blitz that Michigan probably runs as well as anyone in the country, and Scott Kavanaugh had his receiver wide open. You're throwing against a defensive tackle when they bring a safety like that. Mix up in the protection, he got hit, but it's a play he should have completed again. I'm sure that on the Wisconsin staff, they're disappointed in the throwing so far by their quarterback.
Here's 3rd down and 7. Incomplete. Wisconsin must punt again.
Intended for Nick Davis.
So Michigan's defense has been outstanding so far, and the offense has done its job.
Well, Michigan's defense has not given up a point in the first quarter all year, and it looks like they're going to go to the next game doing that. Now, the next game, Grant, might be a little tougher. The Boilers are in there.
That's right. Gary's old school. They can put it up in the air a little bit, can't they? Here's Marcus Knight. And Stemke back to punt again. Low snap. Gets off a good punt under those circumstances. Late fair catch signal. I thought he was going to bring the hand up, and apparently he didn't the way he took off. Made it look that way for a time. Good punt, though, 50 yards.
I agree with him. Almost meant it was an illegal fair catch signal right there.
Wonder if they're talking about that right down there.
Well, I know what they're talking about on that sideline. They're going to have to call on Scott Kavanaugh to finish out this game and finish those throws. It's too tough. Michigan is too geared with those great linebackers to just jam it down their throat. They're going to need to open up just a bit, take the pressure off Ron Dayne, or he's going to have another one of those 65, 80-yard games, and they ain't going to win this game.
And now you got Maurice Williams. He's in that offensive line. David Brandt's been playing. Hutchinson, Jeff Backus doing a heck of a job, and Thomas What's interesting is Thomas' duel against Dayne here today with Donnell Thompson making the stop.
You know what else is interesting is that Tom Brady's still in the game. Against Syracuse in the same situation, Drew Henson came in because you can see the quarter's going to end, and they didn't want to change quarterbacks in the middle of a drive. So now it'll be interesting to see whether they finish in the second quarter to let Tom Brady finish out this drive. I think slowly but surely, Tom Brady is going to emerge as the starting quarterback and the finishing quarterback for Michigan.
And you know I'm not so sure.
I know.
Second down and 7. Here's a play fake. Here's Brady. Great time. Nah. Overthrew Knight that time. Had him over there on that far side. Now that happens to be what you just saw there is the pass that Henson makes just a little bit better. If there's a difference between the two, it's in that arm strength, left hash, right sideline, and Henson can deliver the bullet for you.
You're exactly right in what you said about Lloyd Carr. It's a tough decision. You've got two very qualified quarterbacks. Lloyd Carr had to make a decision on what he wanted to do. We'll talk about it a little bit more as the game evolves because there's some history to this decision this year.
Third down and 7 now for Brady and the Wolverines, who are up by 2 touchdowns. There's the same pass and too high. Throw out of bounds.
Incomplete. Intended for number 1, David Corral.
So we've come to the end of the first quarter. Michigan leads Wisconsin 4-0. Gary, Corey Sargent faces a possible block if this young man can
watch
do it.
this guy right here, Tim Rosga. He's their block guy. He's the guy they try to free up to get the block.
It came at him hard that time. I don't see any yellow flags thrown. Davis battles his way out to about the 38-yard line.
That was a big stop for the Badgers right there. Michigan came out, threw the ball, did not throw it well. As you mentioned, Brady was a little high on a couple passes, and Wisconsin survived. Now their offense has survived and give their defense some rest. They need to make some first downs.
After that punt, Aaron Shea was back there talking to one of the Badgers who had come through. They had a few words with each other, a few pleasantries. I don't think they were talking about where they were going to go for dinner tonight either. That was tough in the middle back there. First down now for the Badgers. Kavanaugh straight back under pressure again. Overthrow. He had no time as Ian Gold was bearing down along with Dahani Jones, both of the inside linebackers. My, the middle of this Wisconsin offensive line has got to keep this clean.
Look at this stunt right here. This is coming in, this is coming in, the other linebackers coming around him. That's a cross dog inside with those big linebackers, those fast linebackers. You said there's the pressure. Was not picked up well by that interior line and running backs, and that's what led to that throw that time, not the quarterback's fault.
I think anytime Chad Coons is not back there as a bodyguard, the Wolverines are coming because he's a terrific blocking fullback. He is back in now, lead man for Dayne. Here he comes, got a hole open. Dayne explodes, best run of the game. Dayne to the 42-yard line, and number 41 blows the hole open for him.
The talk here in Wisconsin and all the respect around the Michigan coaches is saying that Chad Coons is a great blocker. This is the isolation play right at the Michigan defense. Coons gets the block, Dayne reads it, runs with his eyes, and then runs right over Hendricks. That has to make this team and this crowd feel good that they can run the ball against this defense.
First down and 10. Best offensive play of the day with Bennett. And he's a fine youngster. Checking into that backfield for the Badgers, but the play is whistled dead before the snap.
I think that's the 5th procedure penalty on Michigan so far in this football game. You can tell how wired they are to stop the running game. They want to get off with a hair trigger.
Prior to the snap, dead ball, offside, defense. 5-yard penalty, still first down.
Lloyd was willing to take a couple of those, but he's going to start steaming here in a second.
Hand signals being sent into Kavanaugh. There's a live signaler on the sideline and then the dummy signaler. Now they're ready to go. First down and 5. Ball inside the Michigan 40-yard line. Michael Bennett tripped up, going nowhere, and it was the heart of that Michigan defense blowing him in there. Rob Renas just blew his man back into the ball carrier.
Exactly right, Brent. He just backed up the center. Casey Robeck again right into the running play. Watch the penetration. It's going to end up back here. Pushes the center right back into the running back. What kind of nose tackle can you have? They're going to force a double team pretty soon, and that means those linebackers inside are going to start cleaning up some tackles.
Isn't that a great example of low man wins?
Absolutely leverage. You know, Renas was a great high school wrestler in the state of Michigan.
I could see that. Eddie Faulkner now will try it. Bennett didn't step out of the way that time, maybe quick enough for the coaches. 2nd down and 8, and Kavanaugh going to put it up again. Down the middle, got a man wide open and hits Chambers for a 1st down at the Michigan 20-yard line. So Chris Chambers, the 6-foot junior from Bedford, Ohio, who broke his hand back in game 1, has returned here today.
Chambers is going to come right across the middle of the formation. Those linebackers, look at them up here. Get a little bit nosy for that running game. You run the ball well, you can throw the ball well. And if you want to throw the ball against Michigan, you have to run at the inside linebackers and throw right behind them. That's how you do it.
Dayne returns. A red zone opportunity for the Badgers. Dayne, 1st down behind Coons, slips the 1st tackle. Patman hangs on until help arrives, and Dayne barges to the 16. ABC Sports presentation of college football brought to you by the Wide Track Grand Prix by Pontiac. Wider is better. Smooth, refreshing Michelob Light, beer or Michelob. Aflac, without it, no insurance is complete. And Applebee's, you belong at Applebee's. Here on a warm, sunshiny afternoon, Madison, Wisconsin, with Gary Danielson. I'm Brad Musburger. The Wolverines struck twice in the opening quarter. Now the Badgers are threatening. 2nd down and 6. The ball on the 16-yard line. Dayne again. Nothing doing.
That linebacker, Connie Jones, that time just stuffed it before it got started that time. When you read the isolation play and your linebackers can hit it in the mouth before the fullback gets started, watch this. Watch him hit it, anticipate it right in the backfield. He sees it, there it is, I'm hitting it full speed, boom. Takes it out and forces the ball carrier to trip right over the blocker. That's great linebacker play by Connie Jones.
Here's 3rd and 5. 2 tight ends and no fullback. Chambers in motion. Howard goes with him. Kavanaugh gets time. Feathers one wide open. Touchdown! Oh my! Oh, he dropped the touchdown pass. Chris Chambers was all alone.
Oh my goodness. Scott Kavanaugh played it exactly right. When you got a guy wide open, never overthrow it. He underthrew it. Chambers came in motion. Michigan makes a mistake. He's wide open. A perfect call, perfect throw. Mr. Musburger calls touchdown, which it should have been. And Chambers coughs it up, and that's the 2nd cough up that has cost Wisconsin in this game.
So Pasetsky on to attempt the field goal for Wisconsin. And instead of 7, they settled for 3. A 32-yard field goal. Wisconsin on the board, but they're still thinking about what might have been. Timeout. Feels worse about dropping that pass than the young man right there.
It's about 70,000 people that feel bad, but you're right.
Absolutely. So Brady with his helmet off now, which means that Drew Henson, as planned, will come in here to quarterback the Wolverines in the 2nd quarter. Then the coaches will make up their mind.
Brent, as well as Michigan's playing, it's 2 unforced errors by Wisconsin that has it as a 14-3 game right now.
Pasetsky kicks it off. Coming out is Cato June. Short of the 20-yard line, too. But you know, a year ago for Chris Chambers, it was not. First series at quarterback. Hands to Thomas. And he is jammed. You know, wouldn't you love to hear from Bo Schembechler? Hey, Bo, what do you think about the 2-quarterback system at Michigan? Here's what Bo has to say.
The only people that care are the people in the media. Oh, my God, you got to name the starting quarterback. The players don't care. The coaches don't care. They're confident with either one of those guys in there. Now, if you have two guys that are fairly equal, one because of experience, the other because of talent, aren't you going to play them both?
You sure are, Bo, and here comes the second one. Henson, who's very mobile, will hike it out of bounds, and he got the first down for Michigan. There's two things that Henson holds in this duel against Brady. Two advantages, ladies and gentlemen. You just saw the second one. That's his ability to run. He's a little bit better, a little bit more mobile. The first one, Gary and I talked about. That's that strong arm to the sideline from the far hash. He can wing it.
Brent, it's all about producing at quarterback. How hard you throw it, how fast you run. Those are all intangibles that the coaches look for in potential. Right now, Drew Henson's been given 3 games to try to win the job. He hasn't done it yet. He still has another opportunity today. They must like it, right? He wouldn't be
Chavez jumps over for a couple of yards. With 10:19 to go in the first half on a gorgeous Saturday afternoon here in Madison, Wisconsin. Folks, this is one of the stops. If you like to go to different venues for college football, Gary, this has got to be one you come to.
It's my favorite place to come to. The atmosphere in the Big Ten is better here, festive before the game, and they love their badges.
And that's pretty good back at the Big House, my friend, back in Ann Arbor.
Well, you asked me my favorite.
Second down and 6. Fake toss. Henson in a foot race. Defensive lineman closing in, and he's down at the 34-yard line.
Bobby Myers. Henson with the carry.
Drew Henson that time was a naked type of a pitch where he came out on his own, and he had his big tight end coming right across. Sean Thompson really never got his eyes back to the middle of the field to find him that time, just tried to run for his life.
Well, let's see what the young man comes up with here on 3rd and 5. Marquise Walker and Diallo Johnson quickly into the package, and so Wisconsin responds from the other side.
The game plan for Wisconsin against Drew Henson is to blitz him in these situations. Let's see if they hang with it.
They got a chance here because you got 4 wide receivers. They've spread the field. Can they outnumber the blockers? Doesn't look that way. Nope. And Henson going to run for the first down. Great call. Spread the field with the 4 wideouts and let Henson do his thing. First down, Michigan.
Michigan has, when you're having problems running the ball and you have one guy, Anthony Thomas, gaining 81% of your yards, get your quarterback involved. And that's what they've done right here, running the quarterback draw. Get out there, spread them out, make a first down. Time of possession. We talked about how the Michigan coaches wanted to control the ball. That's how you can control the ball, by just making first downs, move the chains. Brian Greasy was great at that when they won the national championship.
You bet. Thomas stuffed beautifully that time by Bobby Myers. Got an interesting Aflac trivia question for you fans, especially of Wisconsin and Michigan. Which NFL Hall of Famer played for both Wisconsin on the left and obviously Michigan on the right? Think about that. Back in the 40s, 42 here in Madison. The next year, 43 in Ann Arbor. Some of you know already. Second down and 8 coming up now for Henson and the Wolverines. 2 wideouts. He has a special relationship with Terrell. He's off to his left. Looks to the right, though. Going to drop it off underneath to Thomas. There is a penalty flag on the throw. Penalty flag is thrown. Chris Seaman was dropping back to block that time for Henson.
I think they're going to call roughing the passer.
They are indeed. And that is a big penalty against the Badgers.
Well, you remember the original roughing on the short scramble by Tom Brady that kept that initial drive alive. Then they had the roughing the passer on the touchdown. Here's the third one.
15-yard penalty from the end of the run, automatic first down.
This one looked a little close to me. Just as he let the ball go, the defender hit him right in the face. I'm not exactly sure who it was. Ball has come from the outside. Oh yeah, one more extra step. Donnell Thompson just took that extra step and put his helmet right in his chin. You're going to get called for it.
Drew Henson, young man who plays in the New York Yankees farm system, one of their best young prospects, now has Walter Cross as his tailback. Play fake to Cross. Henson got time. Complete and a beautiful rocket right there to the 22-yard line. Folks, that's a big league arm you're looking at right there. Here is the young man His daddy a coach over at Eastern Michigan, 6'4", 218. Got the big bucks and down with Tampa Bay. He's a long ball hitter. 13 home runs, just a handful of games down there. Did good.
When he throws the ball, you can almost see Paul Tagliabue's name on it, can't you?
I certainly don't see Bud Selig's name on it, I'll tell you that. First down and 10. A-Train checks back in.
Relax, relax.
Let's check in with Leslie. Leslie?
Yeah, according to one major league executive, Drew Henson should be knocking on the door to the big leagues in 3 to 4 years. You'll note there he has an average arm. They say average arm based on how he stacks up against other third basemen in baseball. For an example, Vinny Castilla has an average arm with the Colorado Rockies, and he's done pretty well for himself. Brent?
Gary, what do you think about that average arm stuff?
I wonder where this guy was from. I hope he's one of the leading advisors of talent, because this guy's got as good as arms I've ever seen.
Second down and 7.
Threw a 95-mile-an-hour fastball in high school.
Hands it off to Thomas. Thomas is ambushed. Point of attack. Maybe a yard, but no more. Myers and friends were there.
Badgers right now absolutely have to get a stop. Field goal is the most they can give up. They do not want to go 21-3 at halftime right now. The defense has done well stopping the running game. The Michigan offense, Mike DeBoer has called a wide-open game throwing the ball. You can tell they like the matchups throwing the ball in this football game.
Evan Coleman checks back in at fullback. He dropped a big one coming out of the backfield in Syracuse last week.
Michigan likes to cross their players down here. Let's see if they can get a pick action.
Now they got to get 7 yards deep. Play fake. Thomas comes to block. Henson throws incomplete. Did get it off, and there was a receiver. No intentional grounding, and the young man got it out of there. He was under heavy duress that time. Kalaji closing in.
Huge stop. Potential for the Badgers to survive this drive when Henson was throwing the ball so well. Remember, last drive for Wisconsin was pretty effective, so they'll feel good about themselves.
Delverne, the 36-yarder. Free ball. Hand it off. And Wisconsin will put it in play right there. That was Jamar Fletcher who blocked the field goal. So the Badgers come up with a big play on the special team. We're coming right back. The two inside linebackers jumping right in there behind the defensive lineman. And Dayne is held as Ian Gold, number 20, makes the stop. And there's the stat that they like to keep here at the university, is how many yards after that initial contact.
Just remember, it's an unofficial stat. We're going to try to do the best we can. I don't know. I think there's been pretty good blocking on the runs he's run for, and I don't think he's busted a lot of tackles. It doesn't really feel like he's breaking a lot of tackles to me so far in the game.
Second down. Kavanaugh gets great protection to the middle, complete. That's a first down, and Chambers, they come right back to the young man who dropped that touchdown pass. So next Saturday, some of you watching, especially here in the Midwest and Northeast, Wisconsin at the Buckeyes.
This game is starting to turn. Wisconsin is starting to feel good about themselves, Brent.
First down. Here's Dayne. On the 6-yard line and down. There is Patman and Jake Freisinger. Freisinger had missed the first few games of the season for Michigan.
15 Patman with the stop.
When you watch the films of Michigan defense, you're right. Your eyes just go to those linebackers. And not just Gold to Donnie Jones. James Hall and Brady Brooks, I mean, they played outstanding against Syracuse. Those four guys, I mean, they're Florida State-ish type, you know, I mean, that's the type of speed they have at those positions.
You know, James Hall may have made the biggest play of last year's game when the Badgers were threatening, and he caused a 15-yard sack, and the Badgers had to kick a field goal. Here's a pass from Kavanaugh. It's incomplete. It's on the ground, and a penalty flag is going to be called. Whitley.
James Whitley never took a step back that time. He had absolutely no respect for the deep ball. He jammed the receiver downfield and got called for the interference. It was a good call. The ball, he got there just before the call. His right hand was on the back of the receiver as he made the play, and it was an outstanding call. But if I'm Wisconsin now, I'm saying Whitley doesn't respect my speed. I'm going to have to give him one of those little stutters and go and see if he's there.
So there's Jim Herman on the far side, just an outstanding defensive coordinator. Been at Michigan 10 years.
Pass interference on the defense. This will be a spot foul, automatic, first down.
And you know, one of the things about Herman, and we all said that Michigan couldn't stop the option a year ago, and they couldn't. Let's face it, Donovan McNabb ate them up in Ann Arbor. But this year, folks, they have done a whale of a job against the option. They allowed 96 and 49 yards rushing against Notre Dame and Syracuse, two teams that used a lot of option against them.
They're only giving up 2.3 yards per rush attempt on the season.
First down and 10. Chambers steps it in motion. Kavanaugh drops back. Incomplete. Well, let's go back to the Aflac trivia question. We ask you, which Hall of Famer for the NFL played for both Wisconsin and Michigan? Some of you knew Elroy Crazy Legs Hirsch. He was here at Madison at 42. Then the Marine training base switched over to the Ann Arbor area, went there. Folks, all he did at Michigan was letter in 4 sports: football, basketball, track, and baseball. He was some athlete. Crazy Legs Hirsch. He's over here in one of the other booths watching. Joy of the action here. Second down and 10. Dayne broke contact that time. He just slipped away from the first would-be tackler and barged to the 34-yard line.
Yeah, you're right.
Run.
It was Rob Rainus that time, the nose tackle, that had a shot at him, but it was a little bit of a combination block up front by that Wisconsin offensive line, so Rob was a bit off balance when he tried to do it. You know you don't tackle Dayne unless you square up with him and take him on. You can't tackle him from the angles.
They're down at 3 here.
Another one of those plays right here that Wisconsin needs to pick up a first down. Quarterback has to come through.
Here's the handoff to Dayne. Dayne breaks it again. Still on his feet, and he goes for the end zone. Touchdown, Wisconsin! Oh, what a great Dayne run that was.
Isolation play, 3rd and short, bounces off one guy, breaks a tackle, and you know, I said I don't know about the yards after contact. You know, on this one, those were all yards after initial contact, and he's up to 88 yards in this football game already. Wow, he's carrying them on their back right now.
Pasetsky. Blocked. So the extra point is blocked by Michigan. And Dayne with a great effort. Coming right at you. One linebacker down. Safety can't hold on. Now just split the corners and get in. 6 points. We've got a timeout. It's 14-9 Michigan. Offense feeling a whole lot better about how things are going right now here in the second quarter. Back in at 14-9, even though from a Badger standpoint, they certainly hated to see that extra point block. Now the Wolverines are going to get another shot here late in the first half. They'll come out on the 20-yard line.
One more look at it. I think it's James Hall, number 56. They get it. It's right up the middle, right in that area right there. You know, Brent, last week, a blocked extra point against Syracuse proved to be very big towards the end of that game when it forced Syracuse to have to go for a touchdown instead of tying it up. There it is. Yes, it was James Hall getting his hand on it. Blocked extra points always seem, at one point, always seem to play towards the end of the game.
So we had a blocked extra point and we had a blocked field goal, remember, at the other end, which started that drive. And now Drew Henson coming out, what could be his last series of the game. We'll have to see how the coach's decisions unfold here at halftime. But remember, Brady led them to their 14 points. Henson still on the field, the sophomore signal caller. They spread it. They give Henson 4 wideouts, and he fires it to Thomas, the running back, down at the 28-yard line. A reminder that coming up on Valvoline Halftime 99, John Saunders and Terry Bowden with scores and highlights. Always good to hear from Terry, and of course, John will have the latest from around the country.
This was the situation that Drew Henson last week earned the second half play, about a 5-minute drive where he put points on at the end of the thing. He was 7 for 9 in that drive. It's that slow 2-minute drill that he has an opportunity again to put some points on the board.
He's been accurate so far. Now they give him 2 wideouts. And they're going to run. Thomas beats the first defender, tries to get the corner, and the Badgers are there, but it's a first down, and the clock will stop. Jason Doring makes the stop. 2:34 left here in the first half. And one of the big differences between the college and the NFL game, is most of you are aware, is that clock stops when you get a first down. A huge difference.
It really makes the 2-minute drill really tough to stop if you're a defensive coach. You got to have a sack. You got to have a bad throw. Something has to go your way, or they'll just jam it down your throat.
That's another big difference, Gary. The clock does not stop on a sack in the college game, too. First down and 10 now. Short drop. Henson deflected. Incomplete. So the defensive line that time, led by Wendell Bryant, who was outstanding, bats that one down.
Well, Wendell Bryant played as a true freshman a year ago. Tom Burke got all the headlines. But if you ask Barry Alvarez coming into this season, who's your best players? He says Wendell Bryant almost first. I mean, right in the same breath with Ron Dayne. That's the type of player he is. Remember, he had a couple of knockdowns in that Rose Bowl game against Cade McDowell.
Here's second down and 10. Aaron Shea, the fullback, moves into a slot, and Terrell goes to the other slot. They're trying to get Terrell in a mismatch. Henson's back. Henson looks for Terrell. Goes the other outside to Knight, and it is incomplete.
Tough to throw the ball when you're horizontal. Wendell Bryant, the guy you were talking about, 77 right there. Watch the big guy. True sophomore, comes inside. Good coverage to the outside right there. Henson throws the ball, and there's number 77. Could really not step in and throw that football.
That fella's a load, isn't he, Gary?
He sure is. 270 pounds of athlete right there.
4th down and 10. Crowd buzzing now. Fires to Johnson. Johnson short of the first down. Did not get the first down. And Fletcher is the reason why he didn't get it.
See if Wisconsin should take a timeout right here, minute 54, and go for a blocked punt.
You talked about Rosga. This would be a good time to try and get him open.
You see, Lloyd Carr will bleed the clock all the way down and probably take a timeout just before he has to punt the ball. There's Rosga right there. He's checking out the strategy.
Corey Sargent.
Number 23, Sargent, back to punt for Michigan.
Timeout now is taken by Wisconsin about 20 seconds late.
It's amazing that they didn't call it right away to stop the clock. They just simply wasted some precious seconds. So we'll take a break.
One more point on that timeout. Barry's way up here. The decision's being made way down there. You wonder if a little bit of the problem right there might have been a little miscommunication.
Yeah, exactly. And Tim Rosga, he's not going to try to block this one. He's going to try to return it.
Well, and that means they probably putting the sure catch guy back there. They're not going to go for the return. They want the right guy back there, maybe a little more sure-handed, the veteran instead of Nick Davis back there. They're going to play a safe defense. Wisconsin's going to concede the punt here.
Now Michigan uses a timeout. Cat and mouse over a punt. It's 4th and 1 with 125.
We're doing a basketball game. We got a free throw coming up, I think. Well, Wisconsin has survived the first half. And I think the 2-quarterback system has hurt Michigan in the first half. Tom Brady started out fast, and I think the point right now is you're getting diminishing returns from both of them because of the 2 quarterbacks.
Steve Lownight. Then on Saturday, October 2nd, Wisconsin hosts Michigan State. At intermission Saturday, be sure to catch the Battle of the Mascots.
You know, we made a point a little bit earlier about how these two teams approach the conference differently. Take a look at Michigan now. They came through Notre Dame, Rice, and then they went into Syracuse. Tough place to play. Wisconsin, on the other hand, well, the little sisters of the poor, if you will. Murray State, Ball State. Then they went down to Cincinnati and got ambushed last week, 17-12. Now, are you battle-tested and ready because of Michigan coming through that schedule? Are you soft because you're Wisconsin? Or are you able to hide things if you're Wisconsin?
I think both, Brent. I think it fits for both programs. The fans will come here to watch anyone. Barry's takes an advantage of that and gets his team ready for the Big Ten. I think both programs work.
Sargent. Here's Rozga. Runs up and picks up a few more yards on the run. Tough youngster to the 36-yard line. Well, tomorrow ABC Sports is back at the track as one.
We're going to survive the first half. Let's play this thing a little bit easy and make sure we get out at least to what the score is now.
Faulkner is the running back, and Kavanaugh in trouble. Will stop the clock by hustling out of bounds at the 37-yard line.
Out of bounds. The 38-yard line.
So Scott Kavanaugh from the Naperville, Illinois North High School program. Came in here today with 2 touchdowns and no interceptions. You can see what he did against UNLV and
career high.
Yeah. Brother Brian, of course, we mentioned, was the starting quarterback at K-State back in '96. Team that went to the Cotton Bowl.
They ask you to do different things here at Wisconsin. You have to be patient to play quarterback here.
And second down. Davis on the juggle. First down. Stop the clock. 1:05.
Opportunity now either to have 2 plays in a huddle or get down and just ground the ball right now. Now at the 50-yard line, you're feeling much more comfortable calling plays if you're Brian White, the coordinator for Wisconsin.
Chambers, the slot man, to the right. Kavanaugh deflected. Incomplete. Because Ian Gold deflected the pass at the line of scrimmage, so it will be second down and 10.
Second and 10.
I think Brian Kavanaugh has survived rather a shaky start for him. He had a nice throw, obviously, to Chambers that should have been a touchdown. Made another nice throws over the middle to kind of get his team back in it, and then Ron Dayne saved everybody by breaking that long run.
Cato June, the nickel man, on the field for the Wolverines. He takes Chambers in the slot. They back it off. And they run Faulkner. Strange call with 50 seconds to go here in the first half. Josh Williams makes the stop.
You know, Brent, they actually caught Michigan in the exact defense they wanted. Michigan was splitzing from the wide side of the field and could have gashed them. But again, up front, that defensive line for Michigan has done the job, at least in the running game.
Let's remind you again of what we've got coming up next Saturday.
You talked about it as the Dell Solutions making a decision in the second half. You know how I feel. What do you think? What are they going to do in the second half?
I think you have to select Brady right now.
I think you do too.
I just honestly feel that because he led them to the 2 touchdowns, that the decision is almost out of the coach's hands. I mean, he gave it to Hinson last week because he thought Hinson's play in the second quarter was superior to Brady's in the first, if that's how he's going to continue to do it here.
It really does shorten the game for your quarterbacks, though. I know playing that position, you tend to, you know, you're a competitive guy. That's how you got to this level to begin with. You want to win. You want to maybe make that extra throw and impress the coaches. And I've used this phrase a lot. Sometimes when you're in these battles, in the heat of a game, you press to impress. And it's really not necessary in quarterback. You're trying to move the chains.
3rd and 9.
3rd down and 9 for Scott Kavanaugh, the senior. Jones backs out. Coming off the edge. Kavanaugh, and a penalty flag comes flying. But James Hall was flying off the edge that time to tackle the quarterback as he came on the blitz from the left side of the defense. And the penalty flags are thrown.
That'll probably be declined by Michigan, and that'll force Wisconsin into a punting situation.
Drew Hinson saying, hurry up, I want one more shot. You know, he's the biggest fan of
offense. Penalty decline. 4th down.
He is the biggest fan of the Michigan defense of anybody over there on that sideline.
If you're a quarterback, what's worse than a quarterback controversy?
Oh, yeah.
It's when it ends and they don't pick you.
That's right. You've been in a few of those,
exactly.
have you? Yeah, all right.
You always go to the coach. That's no big deal, coach. Just keep it going. We can handle it.
Stemke.
Anytime a catch and pooch here. No long steps. Just get it.
Down one hop. Nice Stemke gets it off. Oh, it's good they were playing on turf. Oh, Mr. Henson. 97 yards in 11 seconds. I think they'll just take a knee and get out of here.
Michigan.
And you're right, the turf is kind of favorable to a punter. Michigan really did not have the all-out rush on that play right there, and a poor snap. And Stemke, that's his 9th punt inside the 20-yard line he's had this so far this year. That's a great job when you're a ball control type offense.
Yeah, he's one of the best punters in the country this year, I'll tell you. And he breaks on into the end zone. Go along with Gary Danielson. I'm Brett Musburger. We welcome you back for the second half. No question about the decision that's going to be made.
Well, forget the quarterback. The question I have for Lloyd Carr is your tailback has 13 carries for 27 yards. That's the problem with Michigan in this game. They can't run the football. They're just going out trying to figure out who their quarterback is. They need to run the ball.
Michigan with the first series. Remember, Wisconsin won the toss and elected to receive. So it will be the Wolverines take a knee. And Leslie, what did Coach Carr say when he came out to the field?
Well, he said they have to play the best 30 minutes of football they've played all season. And Gary, based on what you just said, same type of thing. They're not letting them run the football, so they're going to have to stick to passing. And the guy doing the passing in the second half, at least to start the second half, is going to be Tom Brady.
All right, Leslie, thank you. And so Brady will bring the offense out.
Don't know if I quite agree with Lloyd Carr in saying they're not letting us run the football. Wisconsin's not putting 8 in the box that many times. They got guys back in coverage. Michigan needs to run the football.
Well, they jumped the counter, which was one of your Dell solutions, and they have not let Michigan feast off its favorite play. They now stretch Anthony Thomas, and they're going to pitch to the fullback, Aaron Shea, and he battles for a couple of yards.
Aaron Shea, the ball carrier.
So our Morgan Stanley Dean Witter first half stats here, Gary.
Well, the shocking thing is right here. You get Michigan running the ball for only 96 yards in the first half. And third down conversion, Wisconsin, that's a problem when you're 2 for 7. When you run the ball a lot, you should be able to pick up third down.
However, they have outrushed the great Dayne side.
They have. Ron Dayne has 88 yards of his own, but the sacks have been involved in that stat.
Second down and 9. 3 wideouts for the Wolverines. Short drop, Brady deflected, incomplete. Almost picked off. Well, let's take a look at our first half quarterback comparison here. Let's start with the Michigan side, Brady and Henson. And you can see that Brady 79 yards and Henson with 35. That a big difference. And of course, Michigan scored when Brady was on the field.
Actually, Brett, I think both quarterbacks did well. I mean, that is not their problem. Right now, the Wisconsin defense, a defense that Michigan ripped for over 200 yards rushing in their counter last year, is stuffing them.
Third down and 9. Shotgun for Brady. Pocket collapses, and down he goes with Wendell Bryant closing in. They cannot stop Wendell Bryant here today. He's on fire.
Brady drops back. Michigan tries to cross their receivers. Wisconsin goes with the zone. Brady has no one, and you're right. The 290-pound sophomore runs right over the blocker to get to the quarterback.
Sargent punts it out. Davis going to let it bounce. And Wisconsin will have excellent field position. They'll work with less than half a field. Scott Kavanaugh with a chance to drive the Badgers ahead.
We thought
Contact especially impressive on his touchdown run. He needs 3 more yards now to move past Archie Griffin and become 5th in the all-time career rushing list. This is his chase of Ricky Williams and last year's record. He's got it down now to a workable number of 1,105 overall to pass Ricky. On 1st and 10, he comes for 1 record. Not going to pass Archie, I don't believe there. May have got a couple. You know, one of his great linemen, Chris McIntosh, and we asked him if he thinks about Dayne in pursuit of that record.
Number 1 goal is winning the games, but you know, the record and those things are kind of something that we can take a little pride in, you know, down the road and say that, you know, you're a part of doing that. So, yeah, winning's number 1, but, you know, in the back of our mind, we still have those numbers there.
6'7", 310-pound senior leading the way at left tackle out of Pewaukee, Wisconsin. 2nd down and 9. Kavanaugh gets time, goes Davis, intercepted. Whitley picks it off. Down at the 24-yard line. Superb play by James Whitley, the junior, his 2nd pick of the season.
I was just ready to say that the Michigan defense needs to make a play to help their offense. The blitz is coming from this side, and it's picked up well. You see it. It's a zone blitz, though. I think Kavanaugh thought it was man-to-man. Whitley jumped the crossing route and made a wonderful play. The Michigan defense is going to turn it over their offense and say, guys, we saved you. Now make some first downs.
I'm beginning to wonder about Anthony Thomas, why this is the 2nd series they've started without him back there at running back. They try to open it up a little bit. They're going to keep Shea as a blocking back, apparently, and that's about a 5-yard pass over to the other side to Marquise Walker. That's about the only thing I can put my finger on here. Now the A train coming back.
I think what Lloyd told Leslie said a lot. They didn't think they could run the ball in Wisconsin, and they're going to try to mix it up and get out of this game. That does not bode well to me if I'm a Michigan fan.
They now send Thomas out as a wide receiver to the bottom of your screen. He's the split end of this formation, and that doesn't fool Wisconsin at all. They jump all over Shea. I'm not so sure about that either. Wendell Bryant is a monster inside.
Wendell Bryant.
Your best running back is number 32. There's no question about that. And if you've got him split out, you're losing a lot of power from that tailback spot. Camp Randall on a glorious Saturday afternoon. One thing you can say about Barry Alvarez, he brought the ticket buyers back, didn't he?
He absolutely did. He rebuilt this program, and they believe here.
3rd down and 3 for the Wolverines. Short drop, fire on the slant, 1st down. Nice pass by Brady to Marquise Walker on the slant for the Wolverine 1st down.
I think Wisconsin was almost conceding to Michigan that if you could throw a short pass, you were going to get it, because no blitz, no press coverage, and 3rd and 3. I mean, that was just a, you know, a long handoff for Brady that time.
Maurice Williams in there at right tackle. David Brandt, the center. Seaman, the right guard. Hutchinson and Bacchus on the other side. Now Brady got one-on-one. Wants Terrell against Fletcher. Up goes Terrell. What a catch he makes! The duel, and Terrell beats him. He's penalty flags flying late.
He's going to get a 15-yard penalty on it, and it is deserved. Great coverage by Fletcher on a stutter route by David Terrell. 41-yard pass play that's going to get a 15 yards going the other way.
What did he do, Gary?
He posed to the stands, taunted the stands.
We called attention to himself, which is the rule. It's automatic. There's the signal for the unsportsmanlike conduct.
We got this. We talked about it, a matchup. Watch the coverage. Fletcher's right in his pocket. Watch the stutter right here. Fletcher doesn't go for it. He turns, he looks for the ball. Terrell's bigger, goes up and catches it. It just makes an outstanding play. Now, watch the pose. That's 15 yards.
He should know it more than anybody. Let's take you back to the Notre Dame game, all right? He was there when the Irish wide receiver was called for the pose down in the end zone, and it cost the Irish dramatically in a kickoff situation. So there's no excuse for David Terrell. The coaches know it. And on replay. 1st and 10 now at the 37. Play fake Thomas. Brady's got his time, and he overthrew Knight, claiming he was pushed a little bit by Fletcher that time. His ABC Sports presentation of college football brought to you by Chevy Silverado. Not just any truck, it's the truck. Applebee's, you belong at Applebee's. Ameritrade, believe in yourself, and DuPont, the miracles of science.
You know, Brent, I don't know if I agree with the rule, but it's the rule. And everybody knows it's the rule. And you're right. David Terrell should know better than anybody. He was in a huge game that was a big play because of it. And I'm sure Lloyd Carr has told the guys they're going to call it. And they made the call. Until they change the rule, they're going to keep calling.
First down. Let me check that. 2nd down now. On the slant, incomplete. Marcus Knight coming from the slot that time.
Intended for Knight.
So now it is 3rd and 10. That penalty ever so costly for the Wolverines as it pushed them back. They certainly aren't thinking about a field goal back where they are right now. And they need some yards here on 3rd down.
You're right. And this is the time that in the game that if you had a Drew Henson in the game, you might think quarterback draw to set up the field goal. I doubt if you make that type of call with the Tom Brady in the game. Michigan needs about at least 8 yards to kick the field goal, which would give them obviously an 8-point lead.
There's a penalty. They took too many men out of the huddle. They broke the huddle with 12 men, and it was Thomas and Terrell, 2 of their best weapons. Lloyd, they broke the huddle. That's the rule. If they were standing out there, you could have taken them off. You see him coming out?
Yeah,
but they maybe, that's the first one. That's the first one. Okay? Thomas is going to leave right now. See him?
Correction, there is no flag.
I don't think so.
With 11, no flag.
I don't think so.
Well, Lloyd, I apologize.
No.
You're right, I'm wrong.
What happened was they left to make it 11, and then Anthony Thomas got confused to make it 10. They would have actually been playing 1 man short. That's not a penalty. You can play with 10 if you want to.
Anthony is out.
That's right.
So in this formation, they've got 3 wideouts. Shea is still in. Hit from behind. Brady is sacked. Wendell Bryant again.
The professional football player playing for Wisconsin right here. He beat 2 offensive linemen for Michigan. His 2nd sack of the game, and he did an arm over about as good as you can take. Number 77, he's right there. Watch him beat 2 guys around the back of Brady right here. Comes up, beats 1. Now he gets help from the Shea, beats him. Brady steps up. Must have been good coverage, and that's the 2nd sack. And you're right, out of field goal range.
So they hang the punt, and sure-handed Rozga signals fair catch at the 19-yard line. And that's where Wisconsin will put it in play. 10-16 remaining in the 3rd. Badgers trail Michigan 14-9. A costly penalty by that young man. The Wisconsin Badgers are 80 yards away.
I want $1 million a year.
The number's going up. What do you think the Badgers ought to start doing here?
I think they got to do what they do best, and that keep this Michigan defense off balance with the short pass and find your zone play. Let's see if those linebackers can handle the zone play to the short side of the field here.
There's a 2 tight end formation. Dayne. Battle for an extra yard that time. Well, here is our Applebee's game fact. Michigan has won 17 straight Big Ten openers. Their last defeat was against Wisconsin. That was on September 12, 1981, 21-14 the final. And my stats man, Brian Movelson, tells me that Michigan came in ranked #1 in the preseason polls that year and got picked off by the Badgers. Of course, he would know that.
Yeah, I can see that blue blood right from here.
He bleeds that major blue stuff. You know, 2nd down and 8. They show blitz. Michigan does. And they crush Dayne at the 21-yard line. So he has passed one great name, Archie Griffin, and he sets sail now after Herschel Walker, Charlie White, Tony Dorsett, Ricky Witt. What's interesting, folks, if he goes all the way to the top of that list, okay? Doesn't he have to win the Heisman? Didn't they give it to Ricky? They give it to Tony? Rest of that bunch?
I think if Wisconsin has a good season and he takes the record, he's going to win the Heisman. If they don't have a good season, I don't think he's going to win.
Third down and 9. Kavanaugh blitz, hit by Gold on the release. Gets off a great pass and completes it to Demetrius Brown. And what a blow Kavanaugh took on the delivery that time.
Seems to me that the Badgers got a really nice spot on that throw. The linesman's foot, and it's his left foot is just across that line. And they're going to call it a first down.
I thought Demetrius might have been standing on the 30, Gary. Take a look.
Gold comes in, you're right. Missed block right there, that's a mess up. Here's the ball, throw, falls forward. Feet were behind the line, balls in front of the line. I don't know.
Yeah, I think he might have had it at the 30. Huh, boys?
Close enough for a first down.
Yep, first down and 10. Crushed defense by the Wolverines. Faulkner play fake to him. Kavanaugh in trouble and sacked at the 24-yard line. And big number 56, James Hall, rolling in again. Remember, we told you in the first half, he made the biggest play of the game last year when he sacked Mike Samuel for a 15-yard loss on 3rd and goal from the 6-yard line, and the Badgers settled for a field goal and couldn't climb back in it. 2nd down and 16.
The Michigan defense has answered the call in this game. All the momentum is kind of shifted towards Wisconsin. The crowd's against them. The focus of that Michigan defense is outstanding right now. Larry Foote's in the game. He's a great pass rusher.
Defender move. That's going to be offside against Michigan. Left side of the defensive front jumped unless he was pulled across by some movement. That was Hall probably looking for some speed to come off the edge that time if it's against the defense.
Flags on the play.
Yep. Well, let's tell you about NFL football. The New York Giants take on the Badgers.
Still no Ron Dayne in the game.
Kavanaugh. Blitz is picked up to the middle. Chambers hangs on tightly for a Badger first down. And let us ship you to New York and John Saunders. John, what's going on in the Coaches Bowl? Two teams desperate for a win going at it out there.
You really have to admire the Wisconsin's offensive line. They got pushed around early in this football game, but now they're starting to feel a little bit better themselves. Another protection. Good job getting Ryan Kavanaugh to throw the ball. Another first down.
The overload receivers to the right. Chambers the motion man. Kavanaugh needs time to look that way. Got it. To the 50-yard line. An 8-yard gain on that pass play. Young Lee Evans, 5'11" freshman, and folks, he can flat fly if they can get Evans into the open field. Little gimpy there, isn't he, after he gets back up?
And he's going to get out here with a little smash route that Michigan, but watch again the room that Scott Kavanaugh has to throw the ball. That front wall is doing a job. Drops back, he's got 4 or 5 yards to step into this throw. That's why he gets the zip on the ball and completes it.
Badgers down by 5. Dayne, the running back. Here he comes. They pound with him. And Michigan, knew he was coming that time. Jones, you can see him getting off that pile. And Gold, Josh Williams there. Let's check in with Leslie. Leslie?
Brent, we know Dhani Jones is smart. He's also quite the actor, apparently. Lloyd Carr said that he and Jones acted in a church musical last year, all about sportsmanship. But according to Carr, Jones was the good actor. He was not. Brent?
We ask Dhani.
3rd and 2.
Might be able to reduce that here in the second half. You got to figure he might get it right here, huh?
I'd be tempted to fake it to him.
Yeah.
Michigan is playing very conservatively right here. Remember, they got beat for a touchdown in this situation before.
They need 2 yards on 3rd down, and here comes the great Dayne is upended by Gold. Gold gets in low on him and sends him airborne. What a tackle by Ian Gold.
Man, you're exactly right. Like a rocket coming in there. Beats the isolation right up the gut. Michigan was playing very conservative. This is how Ron saw it. Gets the ball right up, takes his legs out, and then from the other side to get a defensive end hitting him from the other side.
Nice. Deep for Michigan.
Now let's see if Stemke can bury the Wolverines again inside the 20-yard line. That's the key here. He's standing on his own 35-yard line. Marcus Knight is back deep. He's standing on his 10. Stemke hangs it high, gives his cover. Oh, they almost get at it. Stemke, though, gets off another beauty. It's inside the 5. Can they down it? What a beautiful punt by Stemke. And to think that Michigan almost blocked it. In fact, there's a penalty flag. But apparently it's going against Wisconsin for holding. That's the preliminary signal down there.
Well, they didn't hold Ian Gold very well because he almost blocked it.
So after that punt, obviously Michigan can take this penalty.
Absolutely.
They're going to pack them up. There's no question here what's going to happen.
Watch how close number 20, Ian Gold, gets to this punt. Right up the gut, looping around. There's Gold right up there. And really, almost, if he lays out a little bit more, you know, he was conservative, trying not to rough the kicker. If he'd have laid out, I think he'd have had it.
10-yard penalty from the spot of the foul. Repeat 4th down.
Here's some hidden yardage, Brent. Let's find out where this thing ends up. Because remember, it was inside the 5. Let's see where Michigan ends up with it. That's how big the penalty will actually be.
Very good point. This could be a huge difference here. At least it figures to be. Stemke's an awfully good punter. Good turf if he can get it bouncing Wisconsin's way.
Well, they rattled him last one. Let's see if he can concentrate and get another one off.
Spins it toward Knight, who's inside the 15-yard line, driven inside the 10, and down in a heap because of the great coverage by Joey Bose. So now Michigan. Great job being done defensively here.
Wendell Bryant is an impact player in this football game. We talked Dayne, we talked Anthony Thomas. Wendell Bryant has taken over. Remember we talked about the Dell Game Solutions, Brent, and I said they needed to pressure the quarterback. Wisconsin's been able to do it without blitzing because of that man, 77.
You know, Gary Stemke got off a 54-yard punt that time. They only lose about 5 yards to Terrell, who's out of bounds and not Posey this time. Leslie, what have you got for us?
Brady Brooks has a slight ankle sprain, and he'll be back on the next series.
Sounds great. Hey, she rattles that info off pretty good. How about with dinner last night in trivia? She batted us all down in baseball trivia.
She's so fast. Was she a traffic reporter on the side?
Remember that scene from Diner, that great movie?
Yeah. She had it all.
Made it. She'd have answered the whole thing. No question. 2nd down and 2. Jumping across.
What's that? The 7th time that that's happened to Michigan in this game. You know, last week it was Syracuse. They blamed it on the crowd in there. It's not that loud here.
Prior to the snap. Dead ball. Ball start. Offense. 5-yard.
8th penalty against Carr's Michigan team today. And a reminder that next week, maybe you'll see Wisconsin at Ohio State. We've also got this other regional action. K-State, Texas, UCLA, Arizona State, and North Carolina against Clemson. So that's all our games. Next Saturday at 3:30 Eastern Time. Anthony Thomas in at running back for Michigan. Brady under pressure, steps up, incomplete. Now, let's check in with John Saunders again. John, for a kickoff return on Aloha Bowl that we covered on Christmas Day over there. So here you are. Big play coming up now with Wendell Bryant, the sophomore. Just a baby. Brady can't find. Now underneath. Got Marquise Walker out of bounds at the 22-yard line. 1st down, Michigan. A huge pass play for Tom Brady, Gary.
And credit the Michigan offensive line. Wisconsin laid back. It was a very slow developing play this time. Michigan's front 5 did a job. Look at the protection. A lot of time for Brady to step up in the pocket and deliver on a play that was very slow developing. Win one there for the offensive line.
Net 11-yard gain. Makes it 1st and 10 from the 22. Time remaining in the 3rd quarter. Michigan has not scored since the opening quarter. A little delay action here, and Thomas squeezes his way to the 27-yard line.
Does it appear to you that Michigan has just given up on the running game and the counter play?
Well, the counter play, yes. I think they're now looking at more of an ISO, but under no circumstance have they given up on a running play.
Seems to me that they're just running the draw play. They've gone away from their base offense, and they're conceding to Wisconsin now that if we can't spread you out and throw the ball, we can't run the ball on you.
Well, they're in 2nd and 5. This is
that was a 1st and 10 call.
Right. They're 2nd down now, and now they do spread it. Now let's see if they go right ahead and throw it here on 2nd down. They are. Short drop. Marquise Walker short of the 1st down. He is ripped by Mike Eccles, the other corner. We've been raving about Fletcher, but Eccles looked good on that tackle, and he's shaken up on the play.
By Mike Eccles.
That's an incredible catch.
Yeah, it really was a beautiful catch. Eccles can't do a thing about it. Back on the field after missing one play. It's a 39-yard gain. Big play, Michigan. 1st down for the 26. Play fakes a beauty by Brady. Got time, but can't find anybody open, so he'll hook it. And you can see he's not the fastest man afoot. Slammed at the 20-yard line. Big Wendell Bryant getting a free shot at the quarterback.
You know, we always show those corners when they get beat. Well, that time couldn't throw the ball because we had great coverage in the secondary. Fletcher did his job on Terrell. Watch this. This is man-to-man all over the field. He's in his pocket. Stutter, a little bit of a physical play. Fetcher's grabbing him, doing anything he can.
Remember, there's a difference in the college game. You're not limited to just 5 yards like the NFL. Until that ball's in the air, you can stay in front of him and work on him. You can't hold him illegally, but you can work on him in front. 2nd down and 4. Thomas stopped beautifully at the line of scrimmage, dove forward. Sam Muller. Well, we asked Jamar Fletcher, the corner, how do you defend Michigan's David Terrell?
He's a big physical receiver, so he likes to push off and, you know, use his size and his strength. So I'll have to eliminate that by using my quickness, and hopefully that'll, you know, counter his game.
Fletcher's a young man out of St. Louis, and he's outstanding. In fact, this Wisconsin team is recruited well. You can see the penalty flags flying on this particular 3rd down play.
Another false start by Michigan.
Flags on the play.
In fact, when you think about the Wisconsin players here today, Gary, I'll wait for this
Prior
call.
to the snap, dead ball, false start, offense, 5-yard penalty, still 3rd down.
First, let's check in with Leslie down below. Leslie?
Brent, Mike Eccles just had the wind knocked out of him. He's okay. He's going to be back in the game. Lee Evans, however, is out with the left ankle sprain, and he will not be returning today.
All right. You know, when we think about this defense over here, both Wendell Bryant and Jamar Fletcher are from St. Louis. I mean, that's big-time recruiting. I'm sure Mizzou was in on those two. Illinois took a crack at it.
This is an attractive place to play now. You mentioned it. Barry has made this place into a place where you want to go play.
3rd down and 7. Short drop, pump fake. Brady goes in zone. Got Johnson. Got it. Touchdown, Michigan.
Touchdown, Michigan.
Diallo Johnson goes up for the Brady touchdown pass, and the quarterback controversy at Michigan may have come to an end in Madison, Wisconsin.
What a gutsy call by Mike DeBoer. He went for it all. Diallo's going to come in and fake the slant and then go around. Look at how Wisconsin's going to bite on it. Gets the perfect call at the perfect time. Brady drives him the length of the field and puts the points on the board. A great job for Tom Brady.
Delverne pounds the extra point. A little breathing room for Michigan. Wolverine fans breathing just a little easier after that one, 21-9. One point I want to make about the Drew Henson, Tom Brady. I have read around the country, not so much in Detroit, but when I travel around, that, oh, the coach has got to play Henson because if he doesn't, he's going to run off and play baseball. You got to be kidding me. He can play baseball anyway. He wants to quarterback Michigan.
Absolutely.
The young man has told us he's going to stay. He knows he's going to be the starter next year and the senior year if he decides to stick with college football then. That's not a particular issue. This was an honest rivalry between these two, and when you watched in practice and you watched in games, you could see why it was difficult for the coaches. But I do think, Gary, that you you are right. In the long run, you got to stick with one, and I think Tom Brady has stood up and said, I am the one today.
Won 10 games last year with Tom Brady. He's playing well enough. Henson hasn't done enough to beat him out.
Leslie?
Talked to Michigan quarterback coach Stan Parrish before the game. He said in a perfect world they'd love to have one guy, but at this point, whatever moves they make are going to be wrong. They just want to keep from not making an emotional decision.
Leslie, I know Stan Parrish well, and I disagree. I think whatever move they make is going to be right. They can't miss. Both of these guys can play.
Exactly. And the other thing to keep in mind here, let us say that they hold on and win this game. And he's done it for 3 games that I'm very familiar with. Notre Dame, of course. Right. He came back with Brady. They win. Syracuse, he sticks with Henson. They win. Here, he's ahead with Brady. The only way Lloyd can lose in this situation is if they lose this football game this afternoon. Then people are going to say you didn't score enough points in the second quarter. And Lloyd knows it. That's exactly what he has said to me. Epstein. Going to be returned from the 4-yard line by Nick Davis, the speedster. Spins and crushed at the 23-yard line. So we're coming to the top of the hour. We're in Madison, Wisconsin on Central Time with Michigan leading Wisconsin now 21-9.
First and 10, Wisconsin.
Back in 1892, this rivalry started. Michigan has dominated it through the years, but not so much in the 90s, now that Alvarez has put the show on the road. And Michigan has clinched the Big Ten title the last 2 years against Wisconsin. So here they are today to start the season. Still a lot of big games to play, so they're not wrapping up anything today. Now Kavanaugh and the Badgers must play catch-up football. Dayne goes nowhere.
He might have just passed Archie Griffin again, going the wrong way. Here's the big plays of the last drive. The touchdown first. Diallo Johnson runs a little bit of a slant and go, but the play that set it up was the bomb. And this was as good a catch you're going to see. This is the highlight material. Not a great throw. Over the wrong shoulder. Now watch it. Willie Mays, that's the hardest catch in football right there. 1 foot in, perfect execution.
That is Ron Dayne coming off the near sideline. He is injured, and it was a shoulder or an arm, folks, because he was clutching his side with an arm that time. So Eddie Faulkner from Muncie, Indiana, checks in at running back. And on second down, Howard, the defender, short of the first down. We've come to the end of the third quarter. So Tom Brady returns for Michigan, and the Wolverines lead at 21-9.
For 34 yards, 19 for 54 yards. That's very reminiscent of a year ago.
Exactly. Third down and 9. Kavanaugh pulls out blitz from Jones, who's got him at the 14-yard line. Jones and Grady Brooks back at it all over Kavanaugh. Badgers force the punt.
Perfect example here of the fire zone blitz that Michigan is so good at it. Here he is right here. He's coming right up the gut at Michigan. Here it is. One guy drops, one guy comes. Wisconsin does not do a good job of pass protecting. They're a running team.
Stemke. Another low snap. Picks it up. And Knight going to let this one bounce away. But it takes a Wisconsin bounce. And finally goes out of bounds at the 28-yard line. A 56-yard punt.
The 28-yard line, first and 10, Michigan.
So Scott Kavanaugh with his hands full the rest of the way against Michigan. Oh, which ESPN features. Here's the first and 20. The draw play, and it was read perfectly by the Badgers. Eric Malik making the stop. And to John Saunders, what about the Tennessee Volunteers, my friend? Volunteers were heavily favored in that one. Second down and 20. Brady fires, got Terrell in the foot race with Fletcher. Terrell is hit, and it's picked at the 45. What an interception. Terrell says you got to throw a flag, but Bobby Myers says, no, you don't. I made the interception.
Quarterback mistake. If the free safety intercepts the ball on a takeoff, the quarterback did not do a good enough job by holding him in the center field. This is a good throw. Terrell beats Fletcher. Watch, he's tracking this football. Here comes the safety from the left of your screen. Well, that's a great catch by Bob Myers. That's a great catch. If you're a coach and you throw the ball down the sideline deep, you think the free safety shouldn't do it. We got another change here, Brent.
Yeah,
Not only we have Ron Dayne in trouble, we got a new quarterback.
Yeah, we had Brooks Ballinger, the freshman. We saw that shot on the sideline of Scott Kavanaugh. He apparently was shaken up. Ballinger, a runner, dances free. Crowd comes to his feet, and Ballinger scampers for a first down. So the Wonderkin doing something that he does very well with the run for 21 yards and a first down. And Leslie, what are they saying about Scott Kavanaugh?
Scott Kavanaugh's got a bruised elbow based by the look on his face. It's bothering him pretty bad right now. He's not going to be back the rest of the game.
Well, nothing will excite these fans more than the sight of Ballinger, whom the coaches thought might take this job early in the season, but he just did not step up. But now he has a golden opportunity. Will he loosen things up for Dayne? We shall see. Dayne for a yard or two and no more. Check that. It was Michael Bennett. Let me check that. It was Michael Bennett. Now Dayne back in the game.
Good job by Ron Dayne right there. Going to the quarterback and saying, ride me. I'm here. Do the job. You do your job, I'll get you some yards. Ballinger is a highly recruited quarterback. Played a four-sport high school player, all-state in all three sports, basketball, baseball, and football. Great athlete. Everyone here in Wisconsin thought he would win the job. Kind of like a Drew Henson. Didn't win it. Still not making the right decisions for Barry Alvarez.
Dayne's behind him. Play fake to him. Rolls, looks fullback on the fly, and it's incomplete. Todd Howard doing an outstanding job of defending Demetrius Brown. Great defense by Howard, the corner. Syracuse tried to pick on Howard last week. They won a couple but lost a couple. He can come up and whack you, number 3 can.
In fact, on the one big play that they completed, Howard was right there. It was just a great catch that time. But the Michigan defensive backs do not fear Wisconsin's receivers at all. They're climbing all over them. Wisconsin's going to have to get the tight end involved. That's something they have not done since Ron Dayne has come to the football team. It used to be a tight end offense. They don't do it anymore.
Yeah, John Sigmund being blanked here today, Gary. He's number 85, 6'6". He has 5 catches on the year. Here's your third down. Chambers, the motion wide out. Ballinger fires. Great catch by Chambers, but it's short of the first down, I believe, by maybe a half a yard or so. It's going to be very close. What a great catch by a young man who dropped a sure touchdown back in the first half.
Oh, man. That was a complete layout for that one.
Just short. Here it comes. Badgers got to go now at 11:59. 4th and short. They got the hammer. Got to just give it to him.
Remember, you have a running quarterback here. Some type of a fake and a keeper would work also.
Dayne's right behind Coons. I'm banking on number 33. The option. Dayne can't get it turned up. Why would they use an option down there, Gary Danielson, when the shortest distance between 2 points is to hammer straight ahead?
People in Wisconsin are going to have nightmares about the option play against Michigan. Last year, it was a disaster when Ron Dayne went the wrong way on 3 different occasions. The temptation for Wisconsin was, we have a run quarterback, let's try to get him involved. The Michigan defense has seen a lot of option football. They were ready for it.
They held Syracuse to 49 yards rushing. Putting Dayne out in space without, no, I'm not buying that. D'Honey Jones didn't buy it either, folks. He made a big-time play, and now Michigan, with a lead, has got the football back. And they pound with Thomas. So ABC Sports presentation of college football brought to you by Ford Outfitters. No boundaries. Valvoline. You can always tell the guys who use Valvoline. Chili's, a proud sponsor of ABC College Football. And the United States Army Reserve. Be all you can be.
A play call tells a lot about what a coach thinks of his football team, Brent. In that instance right there, you could see a lack of confidence in the guy calling the plays and the ability to run the ball against Michigan. A bad call.
2nd down and 10, and Brady's back up, fired in on the release. Incomplete. And driven to the ground by Godorsky, number 16, that inside linebacker from Wausau, Wisconsin. drove Brady to the turf, and it's possible that Hinson, yes, they'll have to change quarterbacks for at least one play.
Dorsey comes free right up. Watch him put his helmet right through the quarterback. Perfect tackle right in the sternum, drives him into the ground, and that's where you get hurt, when you get drove into the turf. This is not particularly hard turf, but when you get driven like that, there's not a helmet made that won't give you a little bit of a concussion on that one.
Yeah, you know, I think the Michigan coaching staff looks brilliant. Drew Hinson's had some playing time. We don't know how seriously Tom Brady was shaken up. Obviously, all of us hope it's not. But Hinson's been in the game, so he's not completely cold as he comes out here facing a 3rd and 10. Hinson going to throw in trouble. Sacked at the 7-yard line. Davray.
That call was as questionable as the option call. 3rd and long, Wisconsin knew it was going to be a pass. A play-action pass doesn't fool anyone, and it keeps Wisconsin in the football game. You got a pro quarterback, run the quarterback draw, go shotgun, throw the ball.
Sargent punts out of his own end zone. Davis driven back from the 31-yard line. Slips the first tackle. Penalty flag is thrown down at the 35, but the yellow comes a-flying.
Brought down by Gold. Flag on the play.
So the clock's so important for the Badgers right now, with 10:17 showing after that 55-yard punt out of the end zone by Sargent, which was a beauty. And then the mistake costly to the Badgers. They trail it 21-9.
Lloyd Carr has to be feeling great about his defense.
On the receivers, 10-yard penalty from the spot of the foul. First down.
This second half play of the Michigan defense has been brilliant. They've given nothing to the running back. The receivers have been blanketed. There's no one to throw the ball to. The linebackers have been blitzing from every different angle. The defense has taken over this game.
Gary, what about this option? Would the quarterback have kept it at all for this yard?
I don't think so. Watch the force of the pitch right here. He gets forced. The problem is there was a missed block. See, he gets tackled. He could not have kept the ball. 2 missed blocks inside. That's the problem.
Critical as Wisconsin comes up with Brooks Ballinger. Both starting quarterbacks driven out of this hard-hitting game. Well, there's Dayne, and many in the fans are asking, why not use that play for 1 yard?
Brought down by number 6, Hobson.
The Michigan defense might not have great stature and size, but they're almost unblockable at times, something like this in the game.
Dave Retzlaff in as an extra tight end with Chad Coombs leaving the game, so they'll bring their 2 tight ends in on this formation. 2nd down and 8. Ballinger can't get it off. Foot's all over him at the 15-yard line. Larry Foote, the sophomore linebacker, sacks him. And let's send you to John Saunders in New York. John, watching your alma mater and visiting your son.
More Danielsons are watching Big Ten football than anybody. You're all over.
That's great. 3rd down and 17. Man, your school is playing well. What a job Joe Taylor's doing at Purdue. Here comes Davis now in motion, and there's a whistle before the snap. So you put a young quarterback in there like Brooks Ballinger. He's had limited experience. He had thrown 1 touchdown and 1 interception prior to this game.
Snap, dead ball, delay game, offense.
Then the things that can happen with the young quarterback. And of course, time permitting, we'll have the Thrifty Car Rental post-game report. John and Terry standing by in New York with all the scores and highlights. They'll cover 2 from Michigan right now against Ballinger. We'll run the quarterback draw. Good-looking running back, but not enough for a first down.
That's a problem.
Patman, the safety, makes a stop.
Michigan very smartly conceded that type of a play. Right now they're playing the clock. They don't want to turn over. They don't want to make any mistake and get Wisconsin back in the football game. Wisconsin, the Badgers, made the big mistake on that option play.
And Cato June is the injured Michigan player right there, being tended to. He's one of their young defensive. Fair catch signal, and he lets it bounce, and a penalty flag comes flying. They may not have given him enough room. They didn't give him that cushion, I don't think, to make the fair catch. We'll let the officials sort it out down there.
Flags on the play.
Conversation with the coaches right now. So, Leslie, what do we hear about Tom Brady down on the field?
Well, Brent, they're calling it a headache, but they tended to him for a while. He looked pretty shaken up. Right now, there's no word on whether or not he's going to be back in the game. But again, they're calling it a headache.
You know, Brent, it's easier to get injury information out of Scotty Bowman than it is out of getting information from Michigan. Scotty Bowman, the longtime coach of the Red Wings, doesn't say anything, and Michigan says less.
and they both win a lot.
They do. They do.
You know, So here's your first down for the Wolverines.
Leslie doing a good job getting that much.
Here's the A train, and Anthony turns it upfield beautifully.
Anthony Thomas, the ball.
I know this is sacrilege in Madison, Wisconsin, but I think the A train has been the most impressive running back on the field today.
I don't think either one of them have done much, to tell you the truth.
I like his block on the double reverse.
All right, I'll give him the block.
Okay.
Yep. There's the yardage. You can see the total domination second half by this Michigan defense. And remember, out of those yards, 26 of them are scrambling by the quarterback. What are you going to do?
Second down and 3. Ball at the 46-yard line. Tough yards inside.
Thomas on the carry.
Maybe a yard short with Godorsey, who's been extremely active, making another stop.
Michigan looks like they're going to survive this game, Brent. Their defense looks as good to me as it was in '97 when they rode it to a national championship. I question, and you might have seen them a little bit more than I did that year, are they getting the play from Brian Greasy that their offense can keep that defense off the field yet? That's going to be the growth that they have to have.
I'm not sure I agree with the use of your verb survive. I think they came in here and won it. They drove the ball 90 yards on their opening series, and they haven't trailed in this game. I think back-to-back road games in Syracuse and Madison, Wisconsin is very, very impressive.
Absolutely. You win in the Big Ten, you dominate in a way. You're right.
Third down and 1, and Hinson goes for the first down. Let's check in with John. What's happening with the Volunteers in Memphis? That's a good one for the Tennessee.
Yeah, and there's a lot of study games going on in college football.
Oh, New Mexico State, that win at Arizona State. I still can't get over that one last week. I thought it was a misprint when I finally got the score in the USA Today on Monday. The game was played so late. First down and 10. A-Train battles his way inside the 40-yard line. How about our Dell Solutions, Gary?
Well, we talked about what needed to happen. The Michigan offense needed to dominate the clock. They did it with the passing game. And obviously they made the correct decision on quarterback because they played 2. So that worked out for Michigan. The defense for Wisconsin, they stopped the counter. There was no doubt about it. And they pressured the quarterback. The problem was they gave up some big plays, and the passing game from Michigan was too much for the defense today for Wisconsin.
Well, I'll tell you what a day he had, huh?
Yep, he pressured it by himself, but it wasn't enough.
Well, Wendell Bryant will get down, ready to go again here on 2nd and 8. Hinson working on the clock along with Thomas. Nice tackle before he could cross the line of scrimmage that line. Got him for a loss that time. Bryson Thompson, Donnell's brother, the only brothers playing this year in the Big Ten. Their daddy, a former coach. He's here in the stands today, a coach watching the youngsters.
Watson's 1 on the play. 3rd and 9 from the 41.
What call here you like? I like the quarterback draw.
3rd down and 9, 4:30. Want to keep the clock running. So that's as good as any. But I think they're going to back him off in the shotgun. Let him take off or find a receiver here. High snap. Hits it, pulls it down, fires quickly high to Terrell, short of the first down. A little over anxious that time on the toss. Henson had a little bit more time to wait for his receiver to get to the flag, and I'll tell you, here's a team that's interested in that Tennessee score, huh? Florida tonight on ESPN.
Lloyd Carr probably run the clock down and maybe take a timeout and then decide, use all the time. But 4th and 2, doesn't want to risk a field goal to get it. They've had one blocked against Syracuse, and they had one today. So they'll probably decide after they take the timeout.
He said go to 1 second. There it is.
Smart play by Lloyd.
So Michigan uses a timeout here. He's going to bring him on over, and they're going to talk about it. Michigan leads at 21-9. Wolverines headed for their 18th consecutive Big Ten opening game triumph. They come to Camp Randall Stadium, and they have led it all the way. Gary?
Possibility here is Michigan could try a long count and try to draw off the Badgers for a first down. Oh, shotgun.
4th down and 2. Quick kick. Henson's done it twice already. Tries to drop it inside the 5, but it goes into the end zone.
Punt rolls through the end zone.
Well, that's another weapon that Drew possesses. And the Badgers will take over on the 20-yard line.
Well, it's a little tougher to get the punt blocked when you do it like that. So that was the strategy. Be safe. Don't give the game away. You got it in the bag.
Yeah, every Big Ten coach playing Michigan now the rest of the way will remind their troops about Henson back in the shotgun.
Well, he's a special athlete. There's no doubt about that. I mean, I saw him in high school, saw him play baseball, saw him play, football, obviously, and they don't come much better, his abilities.
So Brooks Bollinger brings the Badgers back out to the line. Incomplete. He threw behind Nick Davis. And Brady is headed on over to the locker room, so obviously they're going to give him some precautionary medical attention. When you take a head blow like that, you have to be so careful with a player.
Seems to be holding his left arm too. I don't the way he has it kind of tucked into his pants right there. He just seems wobbly, doesn't he? It's either a concussion. Yep.
Yeah, I would suspect that it's probably some sort of a mild concussion, but we shall see. There they hit the tight end Sigmund for the first time today, and Whitley is all over him at the line of scrimmage, so this is 3rd and 10 for the Badgers.
Number 5, Whitley.
Well, when you see Michigan's defense on film, you're impressed, but when you see them in person, you come away more impressed. Their speed to the football, all 11 of them, is mesmerizing.
From the shotgun, juggle, holding on as he was going down was Ahmad Merritt. And that's a first down, Wisconsin at the 39-yard line. Nice catch for 20 yards for Merritt. He's out of Chicago's St. Rita High School. Billy Merrick, great runner up here at Wisconsin the years by, along with Dennis Lick and that gang. They all came out of St. Rita. Great high school program down there. Bollinger finds the open man. Another first down. The clock is stopped. It's Chambers this time, and Brooks looks good here on his last 2 passes.
41-yard line, Michigan.
Put it in the end zone. You always have the onside kick play.
Exactly. If they can score quickly here.
Michigan is conceding yards to take time off the clock still.
High, Chambers. And down around the 40-yard line. He was wrestling with Tommy Hendricks over there.
Brought down by number 3, Howard.
So a timeout called by Wisconsin. That'll leave them with a pair. Jim Herman talks about the defenses he wants to use the rest of the way, and we'll take a break.
All right, let's prove we're experts. Remember, this is the one I said was the big one right here, the defense, the big X for Michigan. You know what? All the rest of them don't mean anything.
That one intangible, though, not having Barry Alvarez on the Wisconsin sideline, I think is going to become a factor with this team. 2nd down and 7. Ballinger incomplete, and it was not a catchable ball. Howard delivers a whack on Chambers as he crosses at about the 17-yard line. Now 3rd down. And a very quiet Camp Randall here. 10 tackles for Dahani Jones. One of the leaders of that defense, played splendidly, as did his running mate inside, Ian Gold. Renus always plays well at that nose spot. Ballinger trying to step out of trouble, does beautiful. What footwork. 1st down, Wisconsin. Clock stops at the 25. That was nifty.
Brooks Ballinger will be a great quarterback here for this Wisconsin football team. When they lose Ron Dayne a year from now, they'll take advantage of his athletic abilities. He'll grow into it. I think he's going to be a real good one. Will not be shocked if we don't see more of him even this year.
Here comes the blitz. They hit him on the leg and he completes it. Patman drives him to the ground at the 36-yard line, and he still finds Davis. And he's out of bounds to stop the clock at 1:46. That's a big-time play right here.
Great timing on this throw. He had to throw it early because he was going to get hit by this guy right here up the gut. Safety blitz. That means it's a zone concept behind it. Guys drop, catches it right underneath the chin. Look at that throw. Can't do it any better.
Need that quick touchdown, like Gary said, and then the onside kick. They've got 2 timeouts to work with, but they must negotiate the 15 yards. Davis goes in motion. Here he comes again, scampering. But not much doing there. And a reminder that tomorrow the winner of 4 Emmys, including Beth. Well, you know, Gary, when we go back to the first half, there was one play, just one play that Wisconsin would love to have over.
Yeah, this was early in the football game before Michigan got away from him. Chris Chambers had it right in his belly, and that would have tightened up this game when Michigan was still trying to find a running game in this football game, and it could have been even closer than now.
2nd down and 8. Ballinger dances left. Look at him run.
Oh, watch the clip.
Dives for the touchdown in the end zone. Got it. Touchdown, Wisconsin.
Still a football game. How about that 3rd down call now? That 4th down call now?
15 yards on the touchdown carry for Ballinger.
Very close to a block in the back on that play. Coming out. This was not a design play. This was a pass play. He reads it. Now watch up here. Watch it. Right here. Watch this block. See that little bump from behind? That got him in the end zone.
Now the extra point. Kosetsky makes this one. They had one blocked earlier in the game.
Michigan 21, Wisconsin 16.
So 21-16, and now the young man, Drew Henson, needs to eat up a minute 29 because that Michigan defense does not want to face the quickness of Brooks Ballinger one last time here in Madison.
Well, first I think we're going to see an onside kick. Obviously, he might not, you know, if the Badgers do it right, he might not get the ball. Wisconsin only has 1 timeout left. With the 40-second clock in college football, it means there's not a lot of time left in the 25-second clock, excuse me, in the college football. There's a little bit more time that the referee has to set the ball down, so it becomes a little bit different here towards the end of the game. Wisconsin, I think they have a chance, has to recover this onside.
Oh yeah, here's some good hands people out there right now.
You bet.
I mean, we got some athletes on the field from Michigan. This is not going to be easy. I see Thomas out there, Kosetsky, their kicker. I see Ian Gold out there.
Remember the college rule, 4 players have to be on the other side of the kicker.
Has to travel 10 yards before the Badgers can take a crack at it. He's a hop, got his high hop in the air, but Michigan goes up for it. Oh, that's a beautiful hop on an onside kick. Just what you want, a jump ball in that corner. But Michigan's good hands, people, were equal to the task. And look who's getting up, ladies and gentlemen. The A-train, Anthony Thomas. And they're still going to ride him to either New Orleans or Pasadena. Watch and see.
Perfect execution, one hop, the second hop goes high. Anthony Thomas goes up and gets it at its highest point. You know when you put your tailback in the good hands team that you have a lot of confidence in him catching the ball.
Bobby Morrison, the special teams coach, did a great job on that play. Had the right players on the field. And now a little rugby scrum down there.
Well, Drew Henson did it right. He did not touch his knee down until somebody came and touched him. Clock keeps running. Notice the time.
Henson's down.
The Badgers have one timeout remaining to stop the clock.
Until the clock gets set. It's not set yet. It's not set.
Loss of 1 on the play.
Not yet even. Look how much time is running out right now.
Yeah, he hasn't wound it, has he?
Not yet even. Now it goes 25 seconds.
Now they can bring it on down.
That's where I think college needs the 40-second clock so that it's always done the same. There's no difference in referees untangling guys, and it gives you a little bit more clarity calling plays.
So Henson will be looking at the clock. It's down to about 5 seconds right now. He'll just take a knee. And the Michigan Wolverines are going to leave Madison with a victory for Lloyd Carr in another opener.
No doubt that they were impressive defensively. I'll still say that their offense has not showed me enough yet at this time of the season to say they're in form of where they were a couple years ago.
Well, the Chevrolet most valuable players of the game are 2 fine defensive players. Dhani Jones there, number 55 of the Wolverines, and on the other side, young Wendell Bryant. In a recognition of their effort, Chevrolet makes a $1,000 contribution to Wisconsin and Michigan and to the 2 high schools. For Jones, Winston Churchill in Washington, D.C., and down in St. Louis for Bryant, Rittenhauer High in St. Louis. Well, there's the young man who did a whale of a job taking on the Great Dane today, along with the rest of the Michigan defenders, and they stood very tall, didn't they?
You know, Brent, when some games in the Heisman Trophy race count more than others when you're on television. And when you have a chance like Ron Dayne did today with 88 yards at halftime, he could have maybe leapt back in it. Again, did not get 100 yards rushing against this Michigan defense. They lose the football game. I think that makes his Heisman hopes very, very dim now.
Well, I think it's a horse race. Let me put it that way. Certainly Peter Warwick of Florida State is right there. But let me say that Drew Brees is not out of this chase.
I agree.
He's putting up some numbers. And Purdue next week
has a chance.
Plays Michigan
at the 47-yard line
in Ann Arbor. So Lloyd Carr can enjoy this one for a few hours, and then he can put that reel on and see Daniels and Sutherland and all these other guys dancing around a field, and Drew Brees just flinging it around. That's a heck of a coaching job that this man has done. Lloyd Carr and Michigan win it 21-16. That's our final score. Stay tuned for the Thrifty Carmelo post game. So let's go down to Leslie.
I got him. Coach Carr, your defense, you've got to be so proud of them. They continue to impress.
Well, I'm glad they didn't put Bollinger in earlier because we had some problems with him, but we played great defense, I think, and obviously we've got some work to do in a running game.
Well, you continue to say you're one quarterback guy, but you've been using 2 quarterbacks, and today I'm sure you're glad you had to because of Brady going out. Are you going to stick with the 2 quarterbacks?
Well, I thought both guys played great.
So basically, you're not...
I want to look at it, and, you know, we're going to try to put an offense together here that can make a run at the championship, but we've got to get our running game going, and we got a lot of other bigger problems.
Thank you very much, Coach. Brent, back to you.
All right, Leslie, nice job down there. You know, Leslie, you're the only one that get Lloyd Carr to smile when he answers that question. All right, there it is. Final score, Michigan 21, Wisconsin 16. Stay tuned now for the Thrifty Carmelo postgame report. ABC Sports is online at ESPN.com, part of the Go Network. Dial it up. You'll get all the scores throughout the day. So long, everybody.